Hello friends, we are continuing our discussion of part test 3 for crash 2020. Question number 75. In case of osmosis, solvent particles move from a solution having higher vapor pressure to lower vapor pressure. Alright, or you can say from a lower concentration of solution to higher concentration of solution. So we don't have that option. Now question number 76, which is not a characteristics of chemical adsorption. It is irreversible. That is very correct. It is irreversible in nature. Delta H of the delta H is 500 joules. This is wrong because in physical adsorption it is 20 to 40 kilojoule, and for chemical adsorption it is 80 to 240 kilojoules. So this one is wrong. It is specific. It is highly specific because during chemical adsorption there occurs chemical bond formation between adsorbate and adsorbent. Now 77. Which process is best described as purification of muddy water by the addition of alum? This is coagulation, because alum provides ions which coagulate the muddy water. All right. Then river delta formation, that is again due to coagulation. This is again due to coagulation because in a river we have colloidal particles, and when it reaches to sea, in sea we have salts, many ions are there, so they coagulate it. All right. Now question number 79. When FeCl3 is added to NaOH, obviously it is negatively charged due to formation of adsorption, whereas with hot water FeCl3 forms positively charged colloid. Next question number 80. Bleeding due to cut is stopped by applying Fe3 positive. Alright, again due to coagulation, because blood is negatively charged colloid. If we don't apply anything, due to natural like calcium 2 positive formation, coagulation occurs. Otherwise, by applying Fe3 positive or alum etc., Fe3 positive, Al3 positive etc., they coagulate the blood which is negatively charged. First option. Question number 81. When Ki is added to AgNO3 solution, see here the answer given is positively charged, but it is given negatively charged, 81. But in my view, it should be second option, because we have AgNO3 in excess. And we are adding Ki drop by drop. So due to formation of AgI colloid, and since Ag positive is in excess, it will adsorb Ag positive and it becomes positively charged colloid. Whereas if the solution is of Ki and we are adding AgNO3, in that case again we get a colloid of AgI, but it will be negatively charged because of adsorption of common ion I negative. So in this case it should be, the correct answer should be positively charged. Now look at question number 82. Look at question number 82. Alright. Column chromatography is based on preferential adsorption. It is based on preferential adsorption. Question number 83. Look at question number 83. Alright. In 83, we are given an oxide and the lattice, and it is cubic packed lattice, so obviously it is CCP. So the oxide ion number is 4, because it is present at all the corners. All the corners means 8 into 1 by 8 equal to 1, and all the faces 6 into 1 by 2, that is equal to 3. So total number of oxide ion is 4, and it will produce say octavoid. It will produce octavoid is equal to 4, and it will produce tetrahedral void. It will produce tetra void is equal to 8, double the number of oxide ion. Octahedral voids are produced in equal numbers, whereas tetrahedral voids are produced in double number. Now it says that X2 positive is present in 1/5 of tetrahedral void, 8 into 1 5, 8 by 5, and Y3 positive is present in it is present in half of the octahedral void, half of octahedral void, that is equal to 4. So this is 2, right? So now we get x2 positive is equal to 1/5 of tetrahedral void, so 5 by 8, right? And y3 positive is 2, and we are getting oxide ion is equal to 4, all right? So this is the condition. Now if all these values are multiplied by say all these values are multiplied by, it is 8 by 5, 1/5 means 8 by 5, it is multiplied by 5, this is cancelled, this is multiplied by 5, and this is multiplied by 5. So what we get, x2 positive equal to 8, y3 positive equal to 10, and O2 negative equal to 20. So to get a lower value, if these are divided by 2, what we get is 4, this is 5, and this is 10. So x4 y5 O10, this is the formula you get, that is fourth option, all right? 83 x4 y5, third option, all right? Question number now look at question number 84, ratio of total volume of BCC to simple cube. Question number 84, all right? For BCC we know that R is equal to root 3 by 4 A, all right? Root 3 by 4 A, or you can say A is equal to it is 4R by root 3. And for simple cube it is R is equal to A by 2, or A is equal to 2R. Now regarding the volume, A cube is equal to volume, so we have to find out the ratio of volume of BCC. So the cube of this, all right, cube of this divided by 2R the cube. So this is the volume. So if you solve this much portion, you get 8 by 3 root 3, all right? Now look at question number 85. Question number 85, it is copper belongs to, so unless you know copper, what kind of cubic system, crystal system it forms, copper actually forms a cubic crystal system. So for cubic crystal system, question number 85, correct answer is first, means all the angles are equal to 90 and all the edges are same, A equal to B equal to C. Question number 86, a unit cell is obtained by AB kind of. If it is formed by AB means it is HCP. AB it is HCP, hexagonal close packing, and HCP, the total number of constituents is 6. It is total number of constituents is 6, right? Total number of constituents is equal to 6, and number of octavoid is equal to 6, and number of tetravoid is equal to double this number, that is 12, all right? So how many tetravoid? It is 12 tetravoid, and 6 octavoids are formed. Question number 86, correct answer is fourth option, okay? Now look at question number 87. Look at question number 87. In 87, CC, bond length, interatomic distance means bond length, CC bond length is given from here to here. This bond length is 154. So 154 divided by 2. is equal to radius of carbon you get. All right, that is uh, 77. And then for silicon, this distance, the half of this distance, this total distance is given, it is 188 divided by 2. 94 is the radius of silicon. Now radius of carbon plus radius of silicon is equal to CSI bond length. Alright. Okay, I'm sorry. Not like this. It is actually SiC bond length is given. Okay, no problem. CC bond length is 154 divided by 2 equal to 77. This is the radius of carbon. Similarly, Si and C, this bond length is given. This is 188. Here to here it is 188 minus 77, that is this radius of carbon. If you subtract, you get radius of silicon. So it is 111. All right. 111. Correct answer is 87. Fourth option. Question number 88. The total number of element of symmetry in a cubic system is 23. Element of symmetry is the sum of three symmetries. One is center of symmetry equal to 1 for a cubic system, and then comes plane of symmetry that is 9, and axis of symmetry, this is 13. So 13 plus 9, 22 plus 1, 23 element of symmetries. Question number 87. F centers in ionic crystals are, basically when we have like this system, cation, anion, cation, anion, this is anion, cation, and this anion and cation, this is cation, anion, cation, anion, like this. Now if some of the anions are missing, and this position is occupied by the electron, this is called F center. And crystals with this defect are colored. So question number 89, correct answer is first, lattice site containing electrons, not interstitial site, lattice site. Then comes question number 90, antiferromagnetic property. Antiferromagnetic property means their magnetic moments are cancelled. So equal number in one direction and equal number of electrons in opposite direction. So the correct answer is third option. Right, thank you.